Kipchui was known throughout the African village of Chepbangon of Tinderet for his wild ways and frequent visits to the local Chang'e Den. Once a promising young man, Kipchui's life spiraled into a cycle of alcohol and reckless behavior. He abandoned his wife, Tabutani, and their 2 young children, leaving them to fend for themselves in a world that seemed increasingly unforgiving. Tabutani struggled to keep the family afloat, taking on multiple jobs while trying to provide a semblance of normalcy for their children. Despite the hardships, she never stopped praying for Kipchui, hoping against hope that he would find his way back to them. Kipchui was notorious in this small village for his heavy drinking and wild behavior. One fateful night, after consuming an excessive amount of alcohol, he stumbled out of the local Chang'e Den and wandered aimlessly down a dark, deserted road. In his drunken stupor, he lost his footing and fell into a deep ditch, hitting his head on a rock. Unconscious and motionless, Kipchui was left for dead by passers-by who assumed he was beyond help. Hours later, a concerned villager noticed Kipchui's lifeless body in the ditch and called for an ambulance. Mistaking him for dead due to his unresponsive state, the paramedics transported him to the local mortuary. As Kipchui lay on the cold metal table, the mortician prepared to examine him. Suddenly, Kipchui gasped and sat up, bewildered and frightened. The mortician, equally shocked, quickly called for medical assistance. Kipchui was rushed to the hospital, where he gradually regained full consciousness. The near-death experience was a wake-up call for him. Realizing the gravity of his situation and the second chance at life he had been given, he vowed to turn his life around. He sought help for his addiction, reconnected with his estranged family, and found solace in faith, ultimately becoming an active member of his local church. He narrated the whole story to his family in their grass-thatched house, and all gave praise to the Lord for saving their father. There was joy in the family once again. His close associates and friends kept mocking him and encouraging him to go back to the drinking habit. However, he could not stand the pressure. Before long, he was back to drinking again. Despite the hard-fought battle and moments of clarity, Kipchui, much like the celebrated actors, struggled with his addiction to alcohol. Initially, Kipchui found solace and purpose in his new life, drawing strength from his faith and community. However, the road to sobriety is fraught with challenges, and for Kipchui, the temptation proved too strong. The pressures of life began to weigh heavily on him, and gradually, Kipchui found himself slipping back into old habits. It started with a drink to ease his nerves, then another to drown his worries. Before long, Kipchui was back to drinking heavily, unable to break free from the cycle of addiction that had plagued him for so long. His relapse was a stark reminder of the ongoing battle many face with alcoholism. Like many men who have openly discussed their struggles and triumphs over alcoholism, Kipchui's journey underscores the reality that recovery is not a one-time event, but a lifelong commitment. One fateful night, after a particularly heavy bout of drinking, Kipchui stumbled into a nearby forest, disoriented and lost. He collapsed near a clearing, his mind clouded with regret and despair. As he drifted in and out of consciousness, he was startled by a vision. A man, radiating light, stood before him, arms outstretched. "Kipchui," the figure said, "it's time to come home." Awakening with a start, Kipchui found himself lying in the clearing, the morning sun breaking through the trees. He felt a strange sense of peace and clarity that he hadn't experienced in years. Determined to change, he made his way back to the village. The journey of redemption was neither quick nor easy. Kiptri faced the judgment of the village people and the wary eyes of his family, but he was determined to prove that he had changed. He attended church services regularly, seeking counsel and guidance from the pastor. Over time, his sincerity won over the skeptics, and slowly, he rebuilt the trust he had shattered. In a twist of irony, the very faith Tabuni had clung to during her darkest hours became the foundation of Kiptri's new life. He became an active member of the church, helping others who struggled with addiction and broken families. His story of transformation and redemption served as a beacon of hope, illustrating the power of faith and the possibility of change, no matter how far one has fallen. Kiptri is now a well-known pastor of one of the mega churches in Kenya.